Everyone, today I want to share with you a message that I believe holds the key to a life of peace, fulfillment, and divine purpose. It's a message that speaks to the core of our human experience, and it's simply this: let God open the right door. Trust God's timing and plan. Now, you might be wondering, what does that even mean? It's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day rush of life, trying to control outcomes, pushing for things to happen on our own time, and struggling with uncertainty. We are taught to be proactive, to hustle, to make things happen. But what if the real power lies in surrendering to a greater force, a plan beyond our comprehension? You see, we're all walking a journey where we are constantly faced with choices, opportunities, and challenges. There are moments when we stand at what seems like a locked door. We try pushing, pulling, twisting, desperate to get it open, to move forward. But what if that door wasn't meant to open until the right moment? What if behind that door, something far better awaits us than what we could have imagined? I want you to pause for a moment and reflect on this. What if the door you're trying to open right now isn't meant for you? What if there's a better door, a better opportunity waiting just beyond your reach at the perfect time? This is the essence of trusting in a higher plan. Understanding that the doors that open and the doors that stay closed are all part of the divine timing at work. Think about the times in your life when things didn't go according to your own plan. But in retrospect, you realize that it was the best thing that could have happened. It may have felt like a setback, a failure, or a disappointment in the moment. But in the grand scheme of things, it was simply part of your evolution. The truth is, we are often limited by our perception of time and the urgency of our desires. We want things to happen now, and when they don't, we feel frustrated. But this feeling is rooted in the belief that we know better than the universe, better than God, what is best for us. And that belief, that we have the power to control everything, is what keeps us stuck in a cycle of impatience and frustration. But what if there's another way to live? What if we could step back and trust that the universe is always working in our favor, even when we don't see the bigger picture? What if, instead of forcing doors to open, we learn to recognize the signs, the opportunities, and the timing that are already set before us? Trusting God's timing is an act of faith. It's about surrendering the need to control every outcome and instead leaning into the flow of life. It's trusting that the doors that open are the right ones for us, and the ones that close are not for us, at least not yet. This doesn't mean we don't take action. It doesn't mean we sit idly by, waiting for something to happen. No, we are called to move with intention, to follow the path that feels aligned with our true purpose. But as we move forward, we do so with the understanding that not every door needs to be forced open. Some doors will open easily. Some will require time, patience, and trust in a higher power. I've seen it time and again. When you trust in God's timing, you stop chasing after things that aren't meant for you. You stop running down paths that only lead to dead ends. Instead, you begin to walk with a sense of clarity and peace. And here's the beautiful part. When that right door opens, it opens effortlessly. It feels like the universe has conspired to align everything in your favor. The right people will come into your life. The right opportunities will appear, and you'll be in a place where you're ready to walk through with confidence because you've allowed yourself to trust. But in order to walk through that door, we must let go of the urge to control. We must let go of the expectations, the timelines, and the doubts that cloud our judgment. We must trust that in God's infinite wisdom, everything is unfolding as it should. As we walk this journey, let us remember, we don't have to open every door. We don't have to fight for what's ours. When we let go and trust the process, when we surrender to the divine timing of life, the doors that are meant for us will open at the right time. So my message to you today is simple. Let God open the right door. Trust His timing and His plan. And know that with each step you take, you are being guided to exactly where you need to be. Trust in divine timing means accepting that everything in your life is unfolding according to a larger plan, one that is beyond your immediate understanding. It's about releasing the need to control when things should happen and allowing them to unfold naturally, even if it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. We often find ourselves pushing for things to occur on our own terms, but this can lead to frustration, anxiety, and a sense of being out of sync with life. Divine timing teaches us that there's a flow to life, a rhythm that we don't always have control over, but that ultimately leads us where we need to go. When we trust in divine timing, we acknowledge that there's a perfect moment for everything. It may not always align with our own expectations. The job we wanted, the relationship we thought was right, or the opportunity we felt we were ready for. These things may not come when we want them, but that doesn't mean they won't come at the right time. By trusting in divine timing, we learn to be patient and to stop forcing things to happen prematurely. It also means understanding that our path isn't always linear. Sometimes delays or setbacks are actually redirections, guiding us towards something better or more aligned with our true purpose. Trusting divine timing is about being open to the unexpected, knowing that even when things don't go as planned, it's because something greater is at play. It requires surrendering to the wisdom of a higher power, understanding that our timelines are often limited compared to the infinite possibilities that exist. Letting go of control is one of the most powerful acts of faith we can practice. We live in a world that values action, achievement, and the ability to shape our own destinies. From an early age, we are taught to take charge of our circumstances, make things happen, and constantly push forward. While there's certainly value in being proactive, the need to control every aspect of our lives can create immense stress and anxiety. It can prevent us from recognizing when we need to step back and trust the process, allowing things to unfold naturally. When we let go of control, we free ourselves from the illusion that we have to manipulate every outcome. We begin to understand that not everything in life is within our power, and that's okay. There's a great sense of peace that comes from accepting that we don't have to manage every detail or force every situation to work out the way we think it should. Letting go of control means surrendering to the flow of life, trusting that even when things seem chaotic or uncertain, everything is moving in the direction it needs to. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up or being passive. It means recognizing when our efforts are no longer serving us and when it's time to trust something greater than ourselves. This shift in mindset opens up space for new possibilities. When we stop trying to control outcomes, we begin to notice opportunities and signs we might have otherwise missed. Life becomes less about rigid plans and more about being present, allowing ourselves to flow with the natural rhythm of events instead of constantly fighting against them. In doing so, we align ourselves with the greater plan that's unfolding before us. Surrendering to the process is an essential aspect of trusting in a higher plan. In our fast-paced world, we're often taught to act decisively and control every outcome, which can create a sense of urgency in all we do. We think that if we just try hard enough, everything will fall into place. But surrendering is about releasing the need to control every detail and trusting that things will unfold as they should. It's acknowledgement that not all outcomes are within our control. Then there is beauty in accepting that uncertainty. When we surrender to the process, we stop fighting against life's natural flow. We stop resisting change, setbacks, or delays, realizing that these are often part of the greater journey. Instead of desperately trying to fit our desires into a rigid timeline, we allow ourselves to be guided. Surrender is not passive, rather, it is an active trust in the unfolding of our path. We still take steps forward, but we do so with the understanding that we do not control the outcome. This act of surrender can be uncomfortable, especially when things aren't going as we expect or hope. It requires a level of patience and a deep belief that what is meant for us will come at the right time. Surrendering to the process asks to let go of preconceived notions about how things should look or how fast they should happen. It's about trusting that the delays and detours are not setbacks, but are part of our personal growth. The process, as unpredictable as it may seem, is often leading us exactly where we need to be, even if we can't see it yet. The right door will open at the right time, a simple truth that can bring tremendous peace when we embrace it. In life, we often face situations where we desperately want something to happen, whether it's landing a job, entering a relationship, or achieving a specific goal. We push, we strive, and we work tirelessly, sometimes feeling like we're doing everything right, but still facing resistance. In these moments, it's easy to wonder why things aren't progressing. We may even question if we're on the right path. But the truth is, some doors simply aren't meant to open until the right time. Understanding that the right door will open at the right time helps us release the pressure to control outcomes. When we are too focused on forcing things to happen, we miss the quiet signals that guide us toward the true opportunities. Sometimes the delay or resistance is exactly what we need to refine ourselves, learn, or grow in ways that prepare us for what's to come. When the right moment arrives, the door will open effortlessly, often when we least expect it. And this is the flow of life, when the timing is aligned with our growth and purpose. Rushing through life trying to force open every door can lead us to paths that aren't meant for us. But when we trust that the right opportunities will appear at the right time, we stop wasting energy on doors that won't open and begin to see the ones that are waiting for us. Trusting in the right timing allows us to stay calm, grounded, and open to new possibilities without the fear of missing out. It's about learning to wait for the perfect moment, knowing that our journey is unfolding exactly as it should. Closed doors protect you from what's not meant for you, and this truth often becomes clearer with time. In our lives, there are moments when we push and push for something that seems so right. Whether it's a career opportunity, a relationship, or a certain path we believe will lead to happiness. But despite our efforts, the door remains locked. Frustration sets in, and we may even question ourselves. Why can't I make this work? What's wrong with me? The reality is that closed doors are not a reflection of our worth or ability. In fact, they are a form of protection, guiding us away from situations that may not serve our highest good. At the time, it may feel like a setback or failure, but in the grand scheme of things, these closed doors can often be life's way of redirecting us to something better. As we practice patience, we begin to trust that there is a divine rhythm at play, and that when it's time for us to move forward, everything will align perfectly. Faith is an active choice to trust despite uncertainty, and it's one of the most powerful tools we have for navigating life's unpredictable journey. Faith isn't something that magically appears. It's something we choose to cultivate, even when we don't have all the answers or when the future feels unclear. In moments of doubt or fear, choosing faith means acknowledging that, despite not knowing what lies ahead, we trust that we are being guided toward the right outcome. It's a conscious decision to step into the unknown, to believe that there is a purpose behind every experience, and that the universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, is working in our favor. Choosing faith doesn't mean ignoring the challenges we face or pretending that everything will magically work out. It's not about blind optimism, but rather an understanding that life's difficulties are part of the larger picture, ones that are contributing to our growth, evolution, and deeper understanding of ourselves. Faith allows us to keep moving forward, even when the path ahead seems unclear or difficult. It enables us to hold on to the belief that even when things don't make sense, we are still on the right track. Having faith in the face of uncertainty is what allows us to let go of control and trust that the right doors will open when the time is right. It's about believing that there's a plan, even if we can't see it, and that we are being guided through each challenge for a reason. This trust, when practiced regularly, creates an inner strength that helps us navigate life's ups and downs with resilience and peace, knowing that even in the darkest moments, there is something greater at work. Every closed door redirects you to a better path, even if it doesn't feel that way in the moment. When we face rejection or experience setbacks, it's natural to feel discouraged or defeated. We might question our worth or abilities, wondering why things didn't work out the way we planned. However, these closed doors, while initially painful, are not signs of failure, but rather opportunities to course correct and move towards something that aligns better with who we are becoming. The truth is, not every opportunity is meant for us, and sometimes what we think we want is not actually what we need. These closed doors can often feel like a barrier, but in reality, they are redirecting our energy and efforts toward paths that will bring us greater growth, fulfillment, and purpose. When one door closes, it's a signal that there is something more in alignment with our journey that we may not yet see. The universe, or whatever higher power you believe in, has a way of guiding us away from situations or opportunities that wouldn't have served us in the long run. Sometimes it's only when we look back that we realize how necessary the closed door was to guide us to a better place. Redirecting isn't about losing or failing. It's about being moved in the right direction. Each closed door is a subtle reminder that we don't always know what's best for us, and that sometimes we need to trust the unseen forces at work in our lives. The pain of rejection or the disappointment of a closed door is often temporary, but the path it leads to can be far more rewarding, aligned with our true purpose, and bring more fulfillment than we could have ever imagined. Trusting that everything unfolds for your highest good is a profound shift in perspective that requires us to let go of control and embrace the belief that life is happening for us, not to us. We often approach life with the idea that we are in charge of every outcome, that success is something we must force or fight for. When things don't go according to plan, it's easy to feel discouraged, frustrated. But when we trust that everything is unfolding for our highest good, we begin to see setbacks, delays, and unexpected changes as part of a larger, more meaningful picture. Trusting this principle doesn't mean that everything will always be easy or that we will always understand why certain things happen. It means that even in the face of adversity, we believe that there's a greater purpose at play, even if we can't immediately see it. Sometimes life's most difficult moments are the ones that lead us to the most profound growth, lessons, and realizations about ourselves. The hardships we experience are often preparing us for something better, or they might be nudging us toward a path that is more aligned with our true purpose. When we trust that everything is unfolding for our highest good, we stop resisting what is happening and instead begin to accept life as it is. This trust allows us to move forward with a sense of peace, knowing that every experience is a stepping stone to something greater. Even in times of uncertainty or hardship, trusting that the universe is working in our favor helps us stay grounded and open to the opportunities and blessings that are waiting just beyond the horizon. It's the key to finding meaning and purpose in every moment.